Welcome into Texas at the voice of college football. Jalen Lott might be a Texas Longhorn. Emphasis on the might. He's currently committed to Oregon, but this dude's a baller. So Jalen Lott, 6 foot, 175 pounds, currently committed to Oregon, but had Texas as a very close opportunity there as well. He is the son of former Texas cornerback James Lott, as well as the son of Faye Lott, a former Texas women's basketball player. He's a receiver slash cornerback at Panther Creek High School, wants to play wide receiver. So B-Ross, I'm going to go ahead and play his huddle footage. What are your initial thoughts here on Jalen Lott?
From what I've read, I know that he's a really good athlete. He's explosive. And the fact that he's not committed to Texas makes me sad when you have your mom and dad who went to Texas. Like, makes me really sad.
Yep. So he was in the track and field. He was the Texas 4A silver medalist as a junior for the high jump and log jump as well in May of 2025.
Go back. With timeout.
He made a play.
Just what, bro? First off,
this is from a former scout. B-Ross used to be a scout within the NFL, so he knows all the little intricacies here.
So yeah, that's cute at receiver. Watch him at DB. I know he wants to play receiver, but my God, this is pretty. Watch it. Pedal, speed turn, flip, locates the ball, goes and gets it. That's the receiver, and like it's so, like that's so clean. Like people don't understand it because that's not like those aren't natural movements for a DB. Because to me, he opened the wrong way, but he corrected himself, got on top, and then yeah, he's running anywhere between 4.43, 4.47 right now.
Yeah. So in 2024, he had 85 receptions for 1,111 yards with 16 touchdowns. He also ran it 18 times for 106 yards. Some of the things I noted on him, I said he has very strong hands. He knows how to protect his body from hits or from contact. I said he's slippery, but he's not like an Xavier Ward, the explosive guy. So he's not going to run like a 4.3, but he's just very slippery. He knows how to use tempo and knowing when to slow down to find ways to get around guys. I think he can high point 50-50 balls. One thing that I'm not making the comparison to this guy, but in terms of just the way he sort of plays, when he's going for those 50-50 balls, it almost is like he almost does it sort of similar to how Marvin Harrison Jr. does, where Marv can go up and he can high point it, but he's also very often he's trying to, he's almost doing it in like a finesse way where he's locating the ball with his eyes, putting his hands out, bringing it into his body more so than just simply out athleting you. So this is somebody that just all around really excellent player. You're watching the film here. What are your thoughts on him?
The first thing I noticed, so for everybody, I have not seen this film. I know who he is and I've read about him, but I've not seen this tape. Like the very first thing I know or notice is he's very smooth. To your point, he's not like shifty, but he's very slippery and elusive in like the way he runs routes, the way he is after the catch. Like it's just very kind of like a weaving mechanic. Even as a route runner, like he's very just under control and smooth. I don't think he's very sudden in terms of quickness at the top of routes, but he understands, to your point, he understands tempo and like how to change and use the speed to get separation. And then his hands are like natural. Like this dude is like and like that last play, his ability to just track the ball. It's very easy for him and natural. And like usually I don't like guys who like cradle the ball downfield, but he does it in a way that he also uses his body to protect the ball. Like, he's a damn good player.
Yeah. So he's a very elite talent, 4-star athlete or 4-star wide receiver and corner. I mean, he can high point. He's currently committed to Oregon, but again, as you talked about, has the Texas ties. A lot of conversation for a while was going to be, was he going to commit to Texas? He was honestly favored to go to Texas before a last-minute committing to Oregon. Was it NIL? We're not going to talk about that. NIL definitely had a part in that one, without a doubt in my mind. That all said, he went on a visit to Texas. So, B-Ross, if he does join the Texas recruiting class, what role do you think he would serve as a receiver? Is he going to play on the outside? Do you think they'll move him inside? What would his pathway to being on the field look like?
You put him outside and you throw him the ball downfield. Like to me, he's and like, okay, I'm putting this out there. Xavier Worthy on film never looked for what he ran 4.2 something.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Like he never looked that fast because of his stride. Like his stride is very long, even though he's not very tall, if that makes sense. Like usually like Xavier Worthy reminded me of Ted Ginn, like the way he ran, but he's a shorter guy, right? So when I look at Jalen, he gives me that same feel where right now he runs mid 4.4s right now, but as he gets stronger and he goes in a college program, it wouldn't surprise me if he busts out a 4.3. It would not surprise me. Just like watching him, watch how much ground he covers when he breaks a long run. So on average, if you run 4.4, it's like 1.5 steps every 5 yards, something like that. Like on average, like that's
he's got super long strides. When you watch him run,
yeah,
like you don't realize he's so much ground he's tracking. But man,
he is gaining ground. So on offense, I think you put him outside and okay.
Oh no,
touchdown then. That was not a good ball. That is not what you do. But you got the job done.
Yep.
But no, so I think to me he comes in and fulfills what Worthy did his last 2 years in terms of being a deep threat. Granted, I think his hands are better. I think he naturally catches the ball better than Xavier Worthy. Got to stop jumping when he goes over the middle, though.
Sometimes he gives you a route that just sort of reminds you of like Adonai Mitchell a little bit.
I can see that.
He's so patient. Mitchell was just so patient, though. He needs to learn to be a little bit more patient with his routes. But man, when he gets a bit more nuanced with things like that, like he's such a long stride, the strong hands. I mean, you can easily see him being a fit within a Sarkisian offense. Like I could just see it.
Absolutely.
2-3 years into the program, him being one of your receivers. I'm going to go in and play a clip from an interview he did. This is from an interview he did with Dave Campbell. This was before he committed to the University of Oregon. And it kind of gives you an idea as to why he ultimately decided to go with the program that he went to. Give me 2 seconds while I load this up. All right, here we go.
Decision coming up for you on July 8th, I believe. Texas, LSU, Oregon, and USC. You've been really circling around those schools since the very beginning of your recruitment. They've always been in the picture. There's a lot of stuff out there about some of the programs, but when it comes down to it, what do you got to have? What are you looking for to make you feel comfortable with one?
Definitely relationship stability, and, just seeing how much they really want me. Because, being able to talk, scheme, and all that stuff is also really big to me, what type of offense you have. And, just being able to prepare me for the next level, because that's what I'm trying to go for.
In your mind, now that you've been through the official visits, is there like a pecking order? You don't have to say it, but like in your own mind, do you put them into a pecking order and then go on the visits and then try to figure out if like what they've been selling you on that whole time has been honest?
Yeah, that's probably exactly right. Because, just being able to see, come back, like biggest thing is being able to sit down with my family and kind of talk about it. Because, they've been through the process, so they know what they're talking about.
So you've been through this process. You've seen this process multiple times. When he talks about talking with his family, when he talks about looking for the relationships, you would think that Texas would be the one that has the connection with the family, that has the he's been on campus more than guys who are already committed on the team, right? He's been on campus multiple times. He just went back on campus for the Sam Houston game.
Yep.
What does this process look like in terms of a recruit's perspective? And maybe like what makes you think he didn't pick Texas the first time, and maybe why he might flip back to Texas this next time?
So I'm about to show my age. Like I came out in 2007, so it's a totally different world.
Very different.
Yeah. But I do understand the entire dynamic of it now. Like to your point, his relationships and like based on what he wants, stability, all that says Texas. Like you're a Texas kid. Your mom with Texas, dad with Texas. And to me, that screams I'm going to be a Longhorn and carry on the legacy of the I name, right? But then I'm thinking like, well, how much, right? That's the first thing that came to mind is how much is Oregon giving them? Let me tell you how recruiting works now. Kid commits, okay? Schools now, because they're able to, they can pay to keep that guy committed. X amount of dollars a month, $20,000, $10,000. So it's something. He is getting something to stay committed. That is how recruiting works now. It's not. I commit and you take my word that I'm not going to flip until I sign my letter of intent. That's not how recruiting works. So Oregon, who has, to me, they have unlimited money because they have Phil Knight. So I'm pretty sure he's being taken care of in that regard. And then part of me thinks where his mom and dad said, hey, this is your decision. You have our support. We would love for you to go to Texas, but do what's best for you. And ultimately, I think that's what any parent wants. I'm a parent. That's what I would tell my state. Do what's best for you. I got your back regardless, right? So as long as he doesn't go to Oklahoma, I don't think his parents have. I don't think they care. I promise. Oklahoma, probably Texas A&M. They're like, no, you're not going there. I guarantee. No, anywhere else, have at it. And he picked as far as you can go, Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
So I do think money plays a part because schematically, Oregon and Texas really aren't that. I mean, offensive football really is a matter of just how many targets you get at receiver and how you're getting the ball. Are you getting the ball in spots you like? But you don't know that until you get on campus, right? So like they can tell you, oh yeah, we want to get you. That teams can lie. So, but yeah. I just, I'm still kind of shocked he's not a Texas commit.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like he still has interest in Texas. Obviously, he just visited Texas. Exactly. And the thing is, when he visited Texas, he wasn't looking at the locker rooms. He wasn't going for pictures because he's done all that already, probably multiple times. He's probably just having a conversation with Sarkisian, the guy that's recruiting him. I think it's Terry Joseph, one of those guys. He's probably talking to those guys saying, hey, maybe some NIL conversations, maybe some usage conversations, maybe how quickly can I get time on the field is all things that he's probably asking the coaching staff. And the coaching staff, they got to tell him the truth, right? They can't just tell him, hey, we'll give you $2 million to commit to Texas. We're not Texas Tech. Texas Tech will throw money at any 5-star. Texas, they got to spread money around a good amount because they get a lot of recruits coming in. Yeah. So they have to give them legit answers. They can't overpromise, but they can't underpromise either. Because if you underpromise, you're not going to get the recruitment. But if you overpromise, then you look bad as a program. So for Texas, they have to walk a fine line with any recruit, especially for a guy like Jalen Lott, who currently is committed to Oregon. But there's definitely conversations going on with Texas. I'll leave it with this. B. Ross, do you think he flips to Texas? As an outsider looking in, do you think he flips?
If I had to put a percentage,
I'd put a percentage on it.
I actually think it's like there's like a 60 to 70% chance he flips.
All right. Again, we're not insiders. We don't have any inside knowledge. We're just looking for an outside perspective.
Because when I look at Oregon's like roster in terms of the number of receivers, they have like 7 redshirt freshmen or freshmen. Like, so you throw in the other receivers in this class, plus like the issue is the initial commitment does not matter anymore. Not until you sign on the dotted line. And even then, he can go to Oregon for a year. So like, oh, they lied or I don't like it, and then go right back to Texas because of the transfer portal. That's where like he might not flip, but if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. I don't think we're out of the running. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Texas will stay on this guy. Texas has been known to be able to flip guys late. So they'll stay on him throughout the process. One thing I want to leave here, Texas has a couple of legacy guys here, Caden Finley and Jalen Lott. Both those guys are committed now elsewhere. I think it's pretty important for Texas to get one of these guys to stay in Texas. I think it'd be a big showing of power, showing of that continuity with, legacy guys. And so if you're Texas, this is a pretty big recruitment. I'm not saying you throw the house at Jalen Lott or anything like that. I'm not saying you spend every dollar you have to get him. But if I'm Texas, I'm doing what I can to try and get this guy on the team, and I'm sure they are. But you guys let us know in the comment section below. Will Jalen Lott be a Texas Longhorn? Hit the like and subscribe button. Welcome.